Hey peoples, I'm back with the second video. As you see, the title is below. I'm not gonna make this video long because I'm just not. But anywho, if you watched the last video and it kind of ruffled you a little bit, hopefully you'll understand this one. But ruffling you wasn't my intention, okay? It's just sometimes you have to speak up and speak out about what you want. Because one thing I found out, you can meditate all you want, and you could say, well, God know my heart. You still gotta speak it out to the universe and tell the universe what you want. And then sometime you might get an answer saying, you need to let go of this, or this person is hindering you, or you hindering yourself by not taking people's opinions as just that, opinions. You want to make everything that somebody tell you that you love law, and you can't do that to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because like I said, some people don't intentionally know that. Some people don't even know. Like, that's just how crafty certain spirits are. Some people, here's the thing. If certain spirits want to fuck with you, they not gonna fuck with you too much, like through people that you don't like. When they want to do the most damage, they're not gonna fuck with you through people that you don't give a fuck about. Sometimes it'll just be like subtle things. The person may not even find any offense in what they said to you, but sometimes it will strike something in you deeper than what you know. And that may not even, that may not even be their intentions, like I said. But at the same time, in order for you to be able to be, I try to be aware of what I say to people. That's like if I know, say your dog just died or something, or say your parakeet just died, you gotta say goodbye to your mama bird, you know what I'm saying? And I get a new pet, like I get a new dog or I get a new bird, and I know how close you was with your animal, and I'm like, look at my new bird, the wound's too fresh. It's like some people, they have knowledge and skill, but they have no fucking emotional quotient, okay? They have an inability to feel fucking emotion for what other people might be dealing with, especially if the person that already vocalized certain things to you. They told you they told you their triggers, and you told them your triggers. So you're careful when you speak. Certain things you don't say because you know that it could cause them to go into deep thought mode to where they can't almost come back from that shit. For real. I mean, I've seen it happen, not just with me, but everybody has a motherfucking trigger, you know what I'm saying? And it's good when you don't tell people certain triggers that you had dealt with or whatever like that. Sometimes, because it might bite you in the ass. It's just like this. If you watching something willfully on YouTube and you know that it's gonna probably trigger you, but you need to hear it anyway, from an outsider, sometimes not like somebody that's not connected to you, but they got the knowledge of what you need to hear. So therefore, if you hearing it from a total stranger or somebody you never met, you don't really take offense to it unless you just one of those proud ass ego filled people that you can't like look at yourself and humble yourself. I mean, that's just what it is. Some people get more offended hearing the truth from a person they know than they will people that they don't know. So one of the things, it's like what I would see with certain folks, it's like, look, for me wanting to be, say you can have some plans to do certain things for your life, but other people have, you know, a calling on their life too. But it's just that, a calling. They're not chosen to do something. So when you call to do something, you got a choice to say yeah or nah and go on about your life. But it ain't going to be as fulfilled as you think it will be. You're going to always feel like something is missing when you're supposed to do some type of work for spirit, whether it be, like I said, you find out about all of that shit with your life path number. You gonna find out what the fuck you supposed to be doing, da 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 da, whatever. And also, man, look, everybody has different reasons for being in your life, different seasons, and some people are lifetime friends. But only time will tell which is which. If I was always asking, you know, it was like some people be like, well, I have a good call on my life and this and that, and I got married and I do this and that. Some people's calling will cause them, no matter what you do or try, you can date somebody super perfect, but then you won't find out about a certain red flag that they have that could be super detrimental to your spiritual growth or your emotional growth or something, just in real growth in any type of way. So you have no choice but to let that person go. And that's why a lot of people have it hard, because they know they're supposed to be by themselves for a specific amount of time to do certain things, and you know, it's just certain things, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you, I ain't gonna say if you wasn't meant to do nothing, you gonna have like an easy ass life. I mean, granted, everybody does go through things, but I mean, to those who deal with more severe bullshit, like since childhood all the way up to adulthood, folks will be like, oh, that's your past, that what happened. But guess what? If you don't learn from that shit's going to fuck with you. And it's going to stop you from getting a certain mindset that you need to push forward. Sometimes it's scary letting certain people out your life, because you be like, damn, I had this person in my life for so long and they're my blood, they're this, that to me, you know. But sometimes it got to be done. You know, like I said in the last video, sometimes, you know, your purpose is different. Maybe your purpose may not be big as somebody else's, and you see somebody facing way more attacks than you. To the carnal mind, it looks like, ooh, what did you do? I don't know. You ask the 5 or 6 year old me. You ask the 5 or 6 year old me what I done. Okay, when all the shit that I could recollect happened. Okay, ask the 5-year-old me. A lot of people have the same narrative. Oh, I was abused by a family member. Yeah, a lot of people have been through that. A lot of people have been through that. Have I been through that? No. So I can't possibly know to the extent that that would fuck with your head. But I mean, like I said, if you constantly had a parental, somebody with parental rights, you know, your real blood relative doing shit, like, you can never know what the fuck. Like, you have to work 10 times harder to break that shit. You have to sit there and heal your motherfucking trauma. And then it don't help when you get people chilling in the shallow end of the pool of your life and you know you need to branch out a little bit further. So I feel like when I ask Spirit, okay, what is my purpose for being in their life? I feel like the answer that I got should have been a no-brainer, because I was always saying it every time people would, you know, do the things easily that was super detrimental for me to try. You know, like I couldn't date nobody online because, you know, it just ain't work out for me like that. You know, back when y'all used to get on Lava Life or do this and that, that shows you how long ago that it's been that I've ever did any type shit like that. I mean, one time it worked out cool, but you know, for the most part, it was a no-go. Because I prefer to meet people in person. Because people can be anybody behind a camera, and that's just facts. Until you get to see them in real life, or maybe y'all, whatever, y'all do enough of whatever y'all do. I feel like my purpose, that should have been a no-brainer in some people's lives that I have met. It's like, God, I've never met so many people that will have a life that I had cried and prayed and wanted to do, you know, all this shit, like, you know, just meet somebody, fall in love, get married, do the, you know, being asleep thing, go to a spiritual institution. And I'm saying that, you know, just being like, say if I would have never woke the fuck up and found out where certain shit was. And, you know, because sometimes for people to spiritually awaken, you have to go through some drama and some trauma. And you sitting there hollering about, oh, you listening to these people that's making you think that spiritual awakening is like a walk in a fucking park. No, bitch, it's a motherfucking roller coaster. It's a motherfucking roller coaster. Sometime, like 1 minute, you be like, yeah, I could get with this. And the next thing you know, you go up here and then the roller coaster start looping your ass around and you don't know what the fuck. You're like, ah. In your mind, you're like, it's not a physical thing, but I'm talking about in your mind, you're like, oh, I'm supposed to let this person go? Like, especially when you always was used to having big crowds of friends and being that friend that always wanted to have the party at the house on the weekends. That was me. Like, would chill with, long time ago, I would be the party house. Be like, look, who gonna bring the weed? I got the food. I'm gonna cook. Who bringing the drink? Who bringing this? Who bringing that? Or they be like, we just give you the money for the drink and you can just go get what everybody want, and then we just tell you what we want. I'm like, okay. So, because the liquor store was by my house, like around the corner, so it was easier for me to go, and then easier for whatever. The whole point of the matter is, the more I started trying to get serious about myself and say, okay, well, I'm tired of this lifestyle. So you go into another lifestyle. Then next thing you know, you cooking dinner at a church. Whatever. You just start going into different lifestyle, and then your friendship crowds start depleting, because it's like when you're supposed to do a specific thing, sometimes you'll have big crowds of people first, and then it's gonna drop off little bit at a time till you're just, everybody ain't gonna just leave your life that is supposed to not, it's not supposed to be in your life until you learn a specific lesson that you're supposed to learn. And the thing is, with a lot of people that would say certain things, do certain things, for me to be in a life, it's like, for me to say, be grateful. It's like, be grateful. Like, people would have a shit ton of kids and complain about them, be like, you know what, there's somebody somewhere out there that can't have any kids. Be grateful. Be like, oh, my husband is too clingy, or my wife is too clingy. Do you love them? Yeah, but there's no buts. Be grateful. Be grateful. Okay? Be grateful. And I mean, I couldn't even say it enough. Sometimes I would like be in this headspace that when people want to talk to me, I would just, it's like I would feel, I can't say I would feel their pain, but I would feel their ungratefulness on a level that I couldn't even explain, and it would choke me up, and I'd be like, wait a minute, would you rather be having a life path that you have to follow that may be cause for you to have a lot of alone time, and they be, oh child, I wish I could trade places with you. Be like, do you know what you saying? Do you really know what you saying? Be grateful, okay? Because sometimes you be looking at certain people and be like, damn, I've been watching them over time, and they went from this weak ass little person to this strong ass, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, like, if you don't ever go through certain shit, your spiritual muscle don't get strong. Like, so over it. Like, the shit that happened while being in quarantine, as y'all already know, the damn YouTube wars. So over it. That actually prepared me to go back to work and be able to take, like, for me to be able to, like, that right there gave me extra strength. Like, I didn't like it when it was going on at the time, but it gave me extra strength to walk into an environment where I know certain people didn't like me, but it gave me this extra don't give a fuckness, to the point it was like that don't give a fuckness was so strong on me that people just started coming up to me, like, say, look, my bad, you know, life is short, da-da-da-da-da, and people wanted to make amends with you, except for maybe one little motherfucker, but one monkey don't stop no motherfucking show. So for the most part, like I say, dealing with that has helped me not be super sensitive when certain people do shit to me. Like, when somebody well insults, like, if all you doing is talking about what I look like, watching my videos, breaking this shit down, trying to look for, are you hurting? Everybody hurts. Everybody goes through something. I mean, shit, if you say, not me, well, you're inviting shit into your existence, okay? And the thing is, when you speak passionately about something that you've never experienced in your life, and you are proudly sticking out your chest, you know what I'm saying? You sticking out your double D or your triple D, and you just, look, I'm gonna tell you what it is. Because they ain't never faced certain shit, and they don't know some stuff that you go through is supposed to make you stronger. Should you be able to learn the goddamn lesson from it? But sometimes people will continue to go through shit and don't learn a lesson from it. Like, it's not that they don't want to learn the lesson. Sometimes they don't even know it's a lesson to be learned. And by me watching a few things on YouTube, this made me know what you see on social media, no matter if it's Instagram, no matter if it's Snapchat, no matter if it's Facebook, no matter if it's YouTube, half of what you see always ain't what it is. Sometimes people will be around you and basically try to pep talk you and be like, well, don't do what I do, just do what I say. And then when they really start seeing your spiritual eyes open to some of the stuff they deal with, and it's like, how? Why? Because what some people are making a mountain out of is a damn molehill. And it saddens me that it's like, wait a minute, be grateful. Because two things that I've seen on YouTube, my lips are super dry. Two things, and I should have got my chapstick when I got up and opened that door back there to let some of that incense smoke out, because it was kind of burning my eyes a little bit because I had it closed up and it was. So, two things I seen on YouTube within a span of maybe from a month ago to recent. Okay? Never get discouraged when sometimes people don't put real content on their channel. And when I say real content, I'm talking about giving you little snippets. Like, I know people who will do, they'll do what they do, whatever their channel content is. And then sometimes they'll have a story time and they'll tell you about some wild, crazy shit that happened in their life. And times when spirit has saved their life, like doing some real shit, like letting their viewers get to know them. Like doing real shit. And some people do that, and then they try to quickly cover it up, like, well, no, it's a solved problem now. And then it resurfaces. Like, it was all over YouTube, I guess, because I started watching family channels, see how families cope in quarantine. Because, you know, when you hear people that you were face to face with, not over a screen with, talk about, you know, how they dealt with quarantine, be like, you know, it was hard, but I had the love of my husband, I had the, you know, I had my kids with me, I had this and that. And then they were just so grateful. And then you had other things where violence, like domestic violence, was popping up super alarming rate. 2 YouTubers. One was a family channel, because it just popped up in a random feed, and I was like, what? Somebody took somebody's life, what? And then to see backstories about all this stuff, and it's like, oh man. It goes to show, some people will be, they could be having a whole ass family doing all this and that, and secretly planning to, you know, leave the other person, or, you know, and that person has been watching you for a while and, you know, catching you in your lies and stuff like that. And I'd never seen this channel, and the husband took the life of the wife. But after I found it out, it's like, to go and watch their channel, you would assume that they were happy. So you can't always believe what you see on YouTube. And another YouTuber, they had her life taken by an abusive boyfriend, that she mentioned certain things. And that was recent. And I'm not naming either one of those channel names, but I mean, it just threw me for a loop, because sometimes people's facial expressions, and just, you know, sometimes when you're watching certain people and you fall in love with, or get a certain persona about them, yeah, you fall in love with a persona that they portray. And when shit surfaces, sometimes you'll see that it's a lot of different problems that goes on. And then other things that I started to notice, like with certain channels, when they would pull certain stunts before they, like, something real tragic will happen, and then next thing you know, they get, overnight they'll get millions of extra subscribers, and then next thing you know, they moving in mansions, big ass mansions, and then, like, this mansion's not big enough, I want to move in this bigger mansion. Certain stunts, okay, when I say certain stunts, I mean certain stunts. Like, they doing shit, like, if you don't look at the subliminals and use your spiritual eye to see what's going on, sometimes you might miss it. Like, there would be a lot of channels recently to where, like, they'll have things like, they lost a baby, this and that, to be like, they'll say stuff like that. And, you know, a lot of times it'll be, sometimes that shit be staged, sad to say, because I was watching certain documentaries where certain people that got a little bit off a little more than they can chew when it came to certain things that they had to do. Either you had to pull a stunt, or willfully get pregnant and allow somebody to do something to cause you, I don't even want to speak about that too much, but the look on their faces, it's like, they put it like this: for something that tragic to happen, you would think their emotions would be running higher, but it seems staged, and it looks like tears are being faked and just certain things. There's a lot of channels out there. So for you to think that you know which one I'm talking about, there's many channels that has been doing this, or Stars in Hollywood has been doing this. Haven't you noticed a lot of them will be having the same female problems, the same issues around not being able to conceive? That usually, a lot of times, that'll happen if you've, put it like this. I know somebody who had quite a few, well, I don't really know the person, but they were sharing their story, put it like that. That they had quite a few abortions, to the point that when they got ready to have another child, it caused the same issue with them. Like, you'll get stars that saying they having fertility issues, but they keep rising and rising and rising. A lot of them ain't gonna tell you, or it'll look like, you know, they hiding baby bumps, or you can kind of slightly see something, or they change the camera, or however like that. It's a lot of things that people do. You don't know what people do on the backside for them views. Or they might have set up, man, look, a lot of shit is set up. And the thing is, I don't want fame that bad that I'm willing to hurt somebody to get it. If I can't get it by hard work, I don't want it. When I say hard work, I don't mean like super duper hard. I mean like honest work. Honest. Sometimes people will be showing you what they want you to see, but you don't know how many times they had to bend over for the person that was going to give them this notoriety. You don't know. And that's why some people want to quit YouTube. They had some people with videos up saying that YouTube Illuminati contacted them. I never knew it was such thing until after seeing some certain type of videos, and I was like, wow. Or certain person that was supposed to be a rapper, and they declined, and they started doing they started doing videos on it. A lot of times you don't know the mental anguish people are going through for that love, for them likes. I mean, it's damn near trembling my voice. I have so much things I want to say about that, but it's like, please don't get angered when something appears to be one way and it's really not, because you don't know. Watch certain content, but keep your spiritual eye open. Listen to the words they say. Watch the side digs, you know. I've also noticed too that some channels would do so many breakup pranks that they actually manifested themselves into breaking up in real life. Sometimes you're doing that shit for show, for likes, and then you don't know, and then you start telling people, oh, it's been a long time coming. You planted the seed though while y'all were in love. You planted the seed while you were in love. You said, oh, I'm gonna do this breakup prank on such and such and such. And I noticed that one channel told a wife, look, we ain't finna do no more of these breakup prank shits, because you know, it be having my heart pumping too much and this and that. And he was like, nah, chill out on the breakup pranks. And I'm glad that he did that. Some people still keep doing that to the point each time they do it, it gets more real and more whatever, to the point that they might actually end up sitting there breaking up. A lot of people don't understand that. If you already know about your words and how certain things just manifest. Now, sometimes we say stuff unconsciously, but it's, you know, it like saying, well, oh, my family get on my nerves and I wish they just go away. You don't want to be like Kevin on Home Alone. Even though that was a movie. Wish that he's, all the hustling, bustling, all the bullshit that was going on. And he wished his family away, and he woke up, that somehow they left him at the house while they was on the plane. And, he ended up having some time to himself. At first he enjoyed it, then he started missing his family. See, what some of y'all married people don't understand, that's saying this shit to your single friends. You might say that and you might enjoy it for the first few days, even weeks, maybe even months. But, God forbid something like that happen. And you do wake up one day and your whole family is gone. And not in a way that they can come back. Be careful what you say. Be careful how you present certain things to your friends. I'm single now because after I finally got the message from Spirit say, just because you can pull a dude, bring him to your house, and you spend time with them and he spend time with you, and y'all are always inseparable, you taking away from the time that you need to learn what you need to learn and get your spiritual muscle pumped up so you can do what the hell that you need to do in the spiritual realm. Like, you don't just get spiritual gifts for no reason. And if you walking around saying that that words have power, you need to think. Before you start being ungrateful, because there would be many people who would wish that they could have a regular ass life, okay? Because their spiritual life ain't no joke. Certain dreams you'll have, sometimes it's warnings for you, sometimes it's warnings for other people, but you won't know if it's for you until you really sit down and be honest with yourself and say, does this have anything to do with me? If it does, take heed. If it don't, whoever it's for, tell the people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times I don't have those dreams where I'm supposed to just, randomly warn people, that type of dreams. No, I don't usually have dreams like that. Next to never. Usually if I do have some type of dream like that, it'll be for me to see something that I'm supposed to sidestep, or maybe Spirit is trying to nudge me and say, hey, I'm gonna need you to stay home at this hour and this minute and this second or whatever. Or go do that another day. I'm telling you, it ain't. Because, I've had certain warning dreams not to go certain places. And then later on, I found out why I don't go around that time. Because maybe it was a particular car wreck at a specific intersection. Or maybe it was a shooting going down. And if you would have went at the exact time, your ass could have been gone. You know what I'm saying? Just pay attention to your intuition. Yeah, I'm doing it a lot more these days. Sometimes you need to get outside influences out of your ear and understand. Never complain how I want to say it. Never complain to a person that could only wish to be in your circumstances. But then if you complain and you can't identify the real problem, then you just complaining to be complaining. And what I mean by that is, say you tell somebody, ooh, my feet hurt, I'm tired, I had to work all these hours. And then people in wheelchairs start showing up in your existence. And then you look at them and then you be like, oh, thank you, Spirit, for showing me it could be worse. I could not be able to walk. Thank you for showing me something to be grateful for. But then I will say, sometimes certain things in life, certain times in life, certain things would hit you all at once. And to the point that you want to tell that to somebody, and then somebody would be like, damn, do you have anything to be grateful for? And you have to literally sit back and be like, nah. Because sometimes we do feel like, whether it's recent or not so recent, everybody has had some point in their life where they just felt like nothing wasn't going right, and everything that could go wrong did go wrong at one damn time. I done been there before. But all you gotta do is learn a lesson so you don't repeat that shit. And that's all that I want to say about that. So don't complain about your feet hurt or you're tired, or even worse, complaining, say you got stockpile. Maybe you went and bought a lot of cans of Hormel chili or whatever. If I eat chili, I eat turkey chili. Say you're, whatever you eating, or you go get your cans of fruit, whatever you do, and you always eating that. Say you doing whatever you doing during quarantine, and you complaining to somebody else like, oh my God, I'm tired of eating chili and crackers, or oh my God, I'm tired of eating canned fruits or vegetables and salad and shrimps and chicken, whatever it is that you do. And the person you're complaining to about that maybe don't have no food to eat. For real. Don't be ungrateful. I mean, shit, all I could do during quarantine was eat, but I feel some type of way thinking, damn, what if certain family members that are retired and they did this or that or whatever, and they don't have something, but those people dogged you the fuck out, and you want to call and find out if they're okay. You want to pop up and find out if they're okay, but something in you saying no. And there's a bigger reason behind the no. Because I'll be quick to be like, hey, well, I can help with this and I can help with that. But if I do it, and then it'll be a little bit of gratitude for like, what, 10 seconds, and then they back to bludgeoning you, and I'll be like, nah. But be grateful. Seriously, be grateful. I don't think that your life don't matter. Because maybe your purpose ain't as big as somebody else's. Maybe you can't handle that type of solitude that, that's required for you to do certain things. Maybe you're supposed to sit and study and watch certain things, like study enemy tactics, so that you know how to combat that shit in the spirit. Sometimes you miss the snake in the garden by holding your nose up too high, thinking, I ain't never went through that, and I ain't never gonna go through that. And then the snake in the garden come and bite your ass. Think like the snake. Don't be a snake. Think like a snake. And what I mean by that is, think like, okay, being I'm doing this and I'm doing that, how could my enemy destroy me? What could they possibly use that I could be like unknowingly giving them to hurt me with? That's how you need to think. It's not being, oh, you think too much. You think too little. Think like a snake. so you can beat this thing. Okay? And be grateful. Until next video. Bye.